The noise-canceling headphones couldn't quite drown out my mother's voice as she pounded on my bedroom door. Daniel, another package? More computer parts? When are you going to stop wasting your life on these childish games? I adjusted my webcam and checked my streaming setup one last time. In 15 minutes, I'd be live with 500,000 viewers watching me test the beta version of our new gaming platform. Not that my family would understand, they still thought I was playing video games in the basement. Coming, Mom, I called out, quickly messaging my development team. Starting the stream in 10. Make sure the servers are ready. My mother stood in the hallway, holding another package from our hardware supplier. Her expression was a familiar mix of disappointment and concern. Daniel, you're 28 years old. Your sister is running a major TV network, and you're still what, Mom? Building a gaming company that's about to revolutionize the industry. She sighed, handing me the package. Gaming company. Is that what you're calling it now? Last month, it was streaming software. Before that, some kind of virtual reality thing. Because technology evolves, I wanted to say. Because innovation doesn't follow a straight line. But I learned long ago that explaining tech to my family was like teaching calculus to a cat. Frustrating and pointless. Just think about what your father said, she added. The position at Catherine's network is still open. Assistant Programming Director. A real job with a real future. Yes, the eternal comparison to Catherine, my perfect older sister. Harvard Business School graduate, youngest VP at Global Media Network, the pride of the Watson family. Everyone expected me to follow in her footsteps. Business school, corporate ladder, corner office with a view. Instead, I dropped out of college after 2 years to focus on what they call my gaming obsession. What they didn't know was that those 2 years have been spent building the foundation of Nova Gaming, a company that was about to change how the world thought about interactive entertainment. My phone buzzed with a message from Alex, my CTO. Investors are watching the stream. Don't forget to showcase the cross-platform integration. I headed back to my room, my office, really, though my family still saw it as the place where their failure of a son played games all day. The space was a tech paradise. Multiple monitors, custom-built PCs, development kits from every major gaming company, and prototypes of our own hardware. The stream started exactly on time. Welcome, everyone, I said to my audience, my voice shifting into what my team called my CEO mode. Today we're testing Nova Platform 2.0, featuring seamless cross-platform gameplay, integrated cloud streaming, and our revolutionary AI-driven content adaptation system. As I demonstrated the platform's capabilities, viewer numbers climbed past 600,000. The chat exploded with excitement. Major gaming publications were already tweeting about the breakthrough features we were showcasing. My mother knocked again halfway through the stream. Daniel, family dinner. Catherine's announcing something important. I muted my mic for a moment. Be there in an hour, Mom. Now, Daniel, this is family. Real life. Real life. As if what I was building wasn't real. As if the platform that would soon host millions of users wasn't real. As if the company valued at almost $1 billion, though my family didn't know that part yet, wasn't real. Testing the neural response integration now, I told my viewers, ignoring my mother's continued knocking. Watch how the game adapts to your playing style in real time. 2 hours later, after concluding the successful stream and debriefing with my team, I finally headed downstairs. The family was gathered in the dining room, and from their expressions, I was in for another lecture about responsibility and growing up. Catherine sat at the head of the table, practically glowing with self-importance. Nice of you to finally join us, little brother. Done playing your games. I took my usual seat at the far end, noting how everyone else clustered around Catherine like planets orbiting their sun. Actually, I was running a product demonstration for over 500,000 viewers. But please, tell us your big news. My father cleared his throat disapprovingly. Your sister has just been promoted to Executive Vice President of Digital Integration at Global Media Network. She'll be overseeing their entire streaming strategy. I nearly choked on my water. Global Media Network, G-Men, was one of the dinosaurs of traditional media, desperately trying to stay relevant in the digital age. Their streaming strategy was about 5 years behind the curve. Congratulations, I managed. Any plans for gaming content integration? Catherine laughed that condescending laugh I'd grown to hate. Gaming? Please, Daniel. We're focusing on real entertainment. News, sports, premium content. Not your little computer games. If she only knew that Nova Gaming's streaming technology was light years ahead of anything GMN was developing. That our user engagement metrics made traditional TV numbers look like rounding errors. Speaking of real jobs, my father interjected, Catherine tells me there's a position in her digital department. Entry level, but with your interest in computers. I'm good, Dad. I checked my phone as another message from Alex came through. Microsoft wants a meeting. Sony too. They've seen the demo. Good. Catherine scoffed. Living in Mom and Dad's house, playing games all day, selling what? Subscriptions to watch you play? That's your idea of good. I thought about the office space we just leased in downtown Seattle. About the 100 employees who believed in our vision. About the venture capital firms begging to invest in our next funding round. Everyone has different definitions of success, I said quietly. Success. My father's voice rose. You call this success? Your sister is running a major media company's digital future. What exactly are you doing with all those computers in your room? I could have told them then. About Nova Gaming's valuation. About our revolutionary technology. About the patents that were worth more than Catherine's entire annual salary. But I learned something important in building my company. Timing is everything. Just working on some projects, I said instead. Don't worry about it. Catherine stood up, smoothing her expensive blazer. Well, as touching as this is, I need to head back to the office. We're announcing a major streaming initiative tomorrow. GMN is going to revolutionize how people consume media. I smiled, thinking of the document sitting in my lawyer's office. Good luck with that, sis. I'm sure it'll be revolutionary. Later that night, as my family celebrated Catherine's success with champagne, I sat in my room on a video call with my executive team. The acquisition papers are ready, my CFO reported. GMN's board doesn't know it yet, but their streaming division is hemorrhaging users. Their technology is obsolete. In 3 months, they'll be desperate for a buyout. And we'll be there, Alex added, with an offer they can't refuse. Our gaming platform already has the infrastructure they need. Their content library would integrate perfectly with our existing systems. I leaned back in my chair, looking at the family photos on my wall. Catherine's graduation from Harvard, her first VP position, every milestone celebrated and photographed. My achievements weren't on that wall. They lived in lines of code, in patent filings, in a growing platform that would soon reshape the entertainment industry. Send me the final projections, I told my team, and make sure our lawyers are ready. When GMN's streaming numbers crash next quarter, we move fast. One more thing, Alex said, grinning. That assistant programming director position your sister keeps pushing? We just hired someone for triple that salary to run our content division. After the call ended, I could still hear my family downstairs, toasting Catherine's success. My phone buzzed with another message. Our platform had just passed 10 million registered users. I thought about Catherine's condescending smile, my father's disappointment, my mother's concerned lectures. They still saw me as the kid playing games in his room, dreaming instead of doing. But that was okay. Sometimes the best victories are the ones no one sees coming. 3 months passed in a blur of code deployments, user growth, and quiet preparation. Nova Gaming's platform had exploded, crossing 25 million active users. Our technology was making headlines in tech publications, though my family never read those. They were too busy following Catherine's revolutionary streaming service launch at GMN. I was in the middle of a development meeting when the news broke. GMN's streaming numbers plummet. Stock falls 40% in single day. Alex burst into my office, my real office, in our downtown headquarters, not my bedroom that my family still thought I worked from. It's happening faster than we predicted. Their platform is crashing during peak hours. User complaints are flooding social media, and their content delivery network can't handle the load. I pulled up GMN's stock ticker, watching the freefall. Where are we on the acquisition paperwork? Ready to go. Our lawyers have everything prepared. GMN's board is already calling emergency meetings. My phone buzzed Catherine. I let go to voicemail. She'd been avoiding my calls for months, too busy with her groundbreaking streaming launch to acknowledge her gaming-obsessed brother. Daniel, my mother's voice cut through my thoughts. She stood in my office doorway, looking utterly bewildered by the sleek corporate space around her. What is all this? Mom? How did you? Your sister's been trying to reach you. It's an emergency. Something about GMN's streaming service. She trailed off, taking in the dozens of developers working in the open space beyond my office, the Nova Gaming logo glowing on the wall, the awards and patents displayed in glass cases. Is this where you really work? Before I could respond, my executive assistant interrupted. Mr. Watson, Microsoft is on line 1 about the cloud services partnership. Sony CEO wants to move up tomorrow's meeting, and GMN's board of directors is requesting an urgent call. Mom's eyes widened. GMN's board? Daniel, what's going on? I stood up, straightening my jacket. Mom, I need to take these calls. But maybe you should stay. I think you're about to learn what your son actually does for a living. The next few hours were a whirlwind. GMN's streaming platform was in complete meltdown. Their much-hyped service had failed spectacularly, unable to handle the user load. Their stock was in freefall, and their board was desperate for a lifeline. Catherine finally burst into my office around sunset, looking like she hadn't slept in days. She stopped short when she saw Mom sitting in the corner, watching everything unfold. Daniel? Where are you? This can't be. Mom. Hello, sis, I said calmly. Having some technical difficulties? She stared at the Nova Gaming logo, at the industry awards, at the real-time user metrics displayed on my wall screens, showing millions of concurrent users on our platform. This is your company? Her voice was barely a whisper. Nova Gaming, currently valued at $12.4 billion. Those little computer games you mocked? They built this. I gestured around the office. And now, we're about to buy your struggling streaming division. Buy? You can't. We're GMN. We're a major media company. A major media company with obsolete technology, plummeting stock, and a streaming service that barely functions. I corrected. Our gaming platform already has the infrastructure you need. The content delivery network, the user management systems, the cloud integration, everything you tried and failed to build. Mom stood up slowly. All those hours in your room. You weren't just playing games? No, Mom. I was building the future of interactive entertainment. While Catherine was climbing the corporate ladder, I was creating something new. My phone buzzed. GMN's board chairman. Excuse me, I need to take this. Catherine and Mom listened in stunned silence as I negotiated the broad strokes of the acquisition. When I hung up, Catherine had sunk into a chair, her perfect composure completely shattered. Ow, she whispered. How did my little brother, the gamer, end up being the one to buy us out? Because you never understood what gaming had become, I explained. You saw it as kids playing on computers. We saw it as the future of entertainment, social interaction, and technology. While you were trying to protect old media models, we were inventing new ones. I pulled up our platform statistics. See these numbers? We have more daily active users than your entire network. Our streaming technology handles more data in an hour than GMN processes in a week. And our growth. We're adding more users every day than your streaming service had in total. But you live at home, Mom protested weakly. In your bedroom. I laughed. Mom, I haven't lived at home in 2 years. That room you think I work from? It's just my testing space when I visit. I have a penthouse downtown. I just never bothered to tell you because you were all so convinced I was wasting my life. Catherine stood up abruptly. The board meeting. They're voting on the acquisition tomorrow. You need to decide if you want to be part of the future, I finished for her. Because Nova Gaming isn't just buying GMN's streaming division. We're going to transform it. Gaming, streaming, interactive content, all on one revolutionary platform. Later that night, after the lawyers had gone home and the acquisition papers were ready for tomorrow's signing, Mom stayed in my office, looking through articles about Nova Gaming's rise. We were wrong about you, she said quietly. So wrong. It's not about being wrong, Mom. It's about understanding that success doesn't always look the way you expect it to. The next morning, I stood before GMN's board of directors, no longer the gaming-obsessed kid they dismissed, but the CEO of the company that would determine their future. Catherine sat in the corner, watching as I presented Nova Gaming's vision for the future of entertainment. Her expression shifted from disbelief to understanding as she finally saw what I'd been building all those years. Gaming isn't just about playing anymore, I explained to the board. It's about interactive entertainment, community, technology that brings people together. And now, it's about saving your company. The acquisition was approved unanimously. As the papers were being signed, Catherine approached me. "That position you offered me last year," she said hesitantly. "The assistant programming job. Is it still?" "That position's been filled," I replied. "But we do need someone to head our traditional media integration division. Someone who understands both worlds." "Interested?" She blinked. "You trust me with that? After everything?" "Catherine, this was never about revenge. It's about building something amazing. Are you ready to be part of that?" 1 year later, I stood on stage at the largest gaming convention in the world, announcing Nova Gaming's latest innovation. Our platform had revolutionized how people consumed entertainment, seamlessly blending gaming, streaming, and interactive content. Catherine sat in the front row, finally understanding what I'd seen all those years ago. Mom and Dad were there too, wearing Nova Gaming shirts, proudly watching their gaming-obsessed son reshape an industry. My bedroom at their house. It's still set up with gaming equipment. But now it's a reminder that sometimes the biggest successes start in the smallest spaces. That sometimes the kid playing games in his room isn't wasting time. He's inventing the future. And sometimes the sweetest victory isn't proving your family wrong. It's showing them a whole new world they never knew existed.